Hey everyone, we are back with another episode of our Bestiary. I'm your host, Eden.
And I'm Marky.
And today we are... Actually, we're kind of we're splitting this one up into 3 countries. And
It's still basically the same creature, though.
tiny bit difference once we get over to the States. Well, this entry... I was about to say interesting entry is about everyone's, I don't know about everyone's favorite, but definitely one of our favorite.
Depends on the lore.
But one of our favorite shapeshifters, as well as favorite creatures all together. This time we are talking about Kitsune and Werefoxes. Do not get the two confused.
Well, you're forgetting the third one.
What?
I can't remember the name right now, though.
Oh, you mean it's Chinese and Korean cousins?
Yeah.
Same thing, slightly different lore.
The Korean and Chinese version eats livers and stuff, hearts.
No, they eat the heart too.
Every lore I read, I ate the liver.
They eat the heart too.
Eh.
But yeah, this entry is about the legend of foxshifters. Be it well-known Kitsune of Japan, the less-known Hulijin of China, or the Kamiho of Korea, and the Werefoxes in America. Though Kitsune has been the most popular meaning to say werefox, literally these two species are same species, different forms.
And different names.
I'm not even gonna... No. For anyone that actually knows anime, anime, Japanese...
Anime, manga, what else?
Pretty much that. Kitsune means fox.
That would mean fox spirit.
No, it's actually Kitsune is actually the pronunciation, or the Japanese word for fox. For even the common red fox that you see over there. But, like I said, do not get werefoxes and Kitsune mixed up, or definitely do not get Kitsune and Hulijin, or Kitsune and Kamiho, or Hulijin and Kamiho mixed up. They may be the same. They may be derived from the same thing, but their outlooks are so different.
Yeah, when they get pissed if they get named different, called a different name.
Yeah, they do. A werefox, but like a werefox is different by means of by how they're made and what their power is. But we'll go into that later. Right now, we're starting with the most renowned of the fox shifters, the Kitsune. Now, Kitsune have been a part of modern pop culture for years. It has been even more popular thanks to shows like Naruto, from the nine-tailed fox spirit Kyuubi, that is inside of Naruto, Shippo from Inuyasha, and even Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm actually surprised he's shutting up about that.
What? It's true.
Kitsune have made a nice little niche for themselves in people's hearts and in pop culture.
Depends on the pop.
But unknown to most people, there are 2 groups of Kitsune. And I do not speak Japanese, even though I can pronounce several words easily. I cannot pronounce them all. And I'm sorry if anyone that can't speak Japanese and...
Sorry we butcher. We'll butcher a lot.
Yeah, we'll butcher a lot. But there's the Zenko, which are benevolent, or good foxes. Holy, divine, things like that. Then there's the Yako, which are malevolent foxes. With evil, bad, things like that. In these two groups, there are many types of Kitsune. You see, there are 13 clans of Kitsune. Heaven, Spirit, Time, Ocean, River, Music, Earth, Mountain, Forest, Wind, Fire, Thunder, and Void, which are Void or Darkness, Shadow, whatever you want to call it.
Wouldn't that be 13 then?
Like I said, 13 clans.
You said 12.
No, I said 13.
Oh, well, who cares?
Each clan of Kitsune has command over the element they are connected to. You can use it in the form of Foxfire, an ability that all Kitsunes have to protect themselves with or to cause harm to people. In Legends, a Kitsune would beat their tails together to make fire or lightning. And when I say tails, I mean Kitsune can grow up to 9 tails. But in Legends, it's mostly been 2, 3, 5, and 9, pretty much. Is the most common tail number for Kitsune.
So odds and evens.
A little bit.
Mostly odds.
Very much so. Kitsune is said that if they live up to 100 years before getting a second tail. So pretty much if a fox lives up to 100 years old, that their experience and by then spiritual power would have grown to the point where they would magically grow a second tail.
It sounds like it would hurt.
If it's magic, probably not. And each tale after that one was about how much knowledge and wisdom they could gain over the next 1,000 years. At which point, they would transcend physical form. In other words, they would not need a physical body at that point.
Which they would become spirit foxes.
Mm-hmm. Which can be very, very dangerous. Or very, very helpful. Depends on the fox.
Eh.
Most Kitsune follow the god Inari. The Inari is the god of rice, wine, tea, fertility, agriculture, industry, and, you guessed it, foxes.
Oh, hail Lord Inari!
Okay?
I know I'm weird.
We've known that from day one. The Kitsune that don't follow Inari were called no-Kitsune, which is translated into wild or earthbound fox. They are not divine. They do not divinely follow the god. They have more of a tendency to be malevolent with their powers, but not all no-Kitsune are evil.
Malevolent? Bloodthirsty?
Remember, this is Japan, so...
There's always going to be a not-so-happy ending. Wait, isn't that just normal fairy tales in general?
Yeah. There's always a balance, even if you don't see it. Always remember yin and yang. One light, the other dark. But both always having a small part of the other. Like how a void can be in the service of Inari, or a heaven using its power for evil. Balance is just one of the things that makes the earth go round. Just as chaos can make the earth go round too. But that's a whole nother topic.
Excuse me.
Legends tell of Kitsune being master tricksters. Be it Zenko or Yako, they all are known for pulling tricks on humans. One great trick they are known for is possessing humans. The people that are possessed by foxes are called Kitsune-suki, which is translated into fox possessed. Or in the case of the wild foxes, no Kitsune-suki, which is wild fox possessed. Hey, does this sound like Naruto to anyone?
Kinda, yeah. Like I said, I don't think he was possessed. He was kind of stuck with it. Like, sealed.
It's still possessing him.
Yeah.
When foxes possess someone, it is always for a purpose. Be it to help someone reach their goal as their teacher, depending on the fox, or for the fox to fulfill its own desires.
Cause as much chaos as possible.
If it is a benevolent fox possessing the person, the fox will most likely leave a gift for its host on the time of its departure. Which, being if the person was sick, they would leave them with good health, or if the person was maybe, I'm stretching this a long deal for, maybe poor, and they left some money for them, or some form of riches that they can help themselves with. But if it's a malevolent fox, they will always have to be exorcised, or the host will have to be killed to stop the evil fox. Yeah, it's
no happy ending.
Pretty much. But in rare cases, that a host will fight back against the fox invading their body and try to take back control. But this is all no Kitsune or Yako foxes cases. In some cases, this would work, and in others it doesn't. And the ones that do work, the person will either expel the fox spirit and spell the fox spirit out in the form of a bug, or they will take some of the fox's power to make a new body for themselves as the husk of their old body is left for the malevolent fox. When this happens, the fox will expel anything from ribbons to robes to bandages out of their mouth, and the host spirit will use the power that they took from the fox and make a new body for themselves.
Would that turn them into a fox themselves?
I'm about to explain that. And in something I like to call a fox incarnation. Basically, they took what, like I was saying earlier, they took a part of the fox that had possessed them into themselves to remake them. But
now the real question, would they become just like it? Or will they become the opposite? And this sounds a lot like a Venom and Carnage type of thing.
I wouldn't say Venom and Carnage, really. Because, well, Venom just butted Carnage out. Or mitosis, or whatever.
We're not getting into symbiote discussion now.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. But basically, what I like to think is they're practically being reborn as Kitsune themselves. And would have, to some degree, the same powers of the fox that possessed them. But I can only find snippets of legends for this, so I'm not 100% sure. I really don't have all the clues for this. I'm embellishing some things. I will admit that now.
I'm not gonna say anything here.
There are also legends about Kitsune having an item that are the embodiment of their power. And that if someone was to find and take that item, the Kitsune will do a boon to get this item back. Be it a crystal ball, a bell, something that is literally almost the physical embodiment of their power that they can hold while in human form. Because we all, as I said earlier, Kitsune are tricksters. They've been known to transform into beautiful young women and be it
Crotchety old men.
To crotchety old men to play tricks onto noble samurai that have in some cases grown too big for their britches, or to scare someone off of some place that they're not supposed to be, and protect them like that. But and sometimes just to find a husband. Foxes, male or female, have been known to transform into women and seduce men and have children with them. But some foxes have been known to transform into men and seduce women and have children with them. Again, male or female. It's all... For living at 900 years...
Male, female? What's the difference?
Yeah, once you're that old, you really don't care what you're doing. Next up, let's go to China and Korea for the Hulingjin and the Kamiko. I'm just going to lump these two together because their legends are so similar.
Yeah, they're like right next door to each other.
Yeah, that too. But both are said to be able to transform like its Kitsune counterparts. But unlike...
Mostly into females.
Yeah. Unlike its Japanese cousins, they would use their power to seduce men to eat their hearts and livers. Yeah.
Ew.
They're bloodthirsty. They're more of the Yako side for foxes.
Join the dark side.
We have cookies.
I wasn't gonna go there, but alright.
We have cookies.
I was gonna say ice cream.
You're about to say we have hearts and livers.
Sure, we'll go with that too.
But it is said that if a Hulingjin or a Kamiko could hold off from killing humans for up to a year, they would become human and live out a mortal life with the man that could truly steal their hearts. Unlike Kitsune, that if they were to stop doing unlike Kitsune, where they would stay foxes for the rest of their lives, a Kamiho and a Hulingjin could, in essence, become human permanently. But it is very rare, and usually it's when they find a perfect match for themselves. The mate bond or soulmates, whatever you want to call it. Chinese, Japanese, and Korean legends all have at one point legends like this to where a demon falls in love with a human and finds their true mate. They're rare, but it does happen every once in a while. Now let's kick it over to the States. To
USA. God, I hate myself for doing that.
I was more thinking of Native America, because that's where most of legends of werefoxes come from. Like other foxes around the world, the werefox is a trickster spirit as well. But unlike other foxes, the werefox is not a creature of elemental power. The werefox is a creature of spiritual and illusionary power. Like its Kitsune or any of its Asian relatives, all Kitsune have the power to make illusions. Pretty much all Kitsunes have the power to do, in essence, the perfect trick. But werefoxes, on the other hand, are able to, in essence, see into the true spirit world. See into the essence of people's own true spirits on how they feel, how they are, everything like that.
Basically seeing through the veil of lies that the world naturally gives.
Yeah. Like I said, unlike its Asian cousins, the werefox can look inside people to see what they most desire without possessing them. And if it's a good fox, they would help them see a way to it. Or if it's an evil fox, twist it to the point of madness.
Ouch.
Yeah, they're...
We're on the line to sadist.
I wouldn't say sadists, more like... intense masochism, almost.
Sounds a lot like a sadist.
But
oh, and for my USA crack, yeah.
He hates doing that chant.
Yeah.
Too many times. School has killed that chant for us. I will say that now.
Yeah.
Every Olympics.
School and quite a few movies.
Yeah. School and quite a few movies. Now let's get on to the biological aspect of Kitsune, Hulingjin, Kamiko, and the Werefoxes. I will leave the Werefoxes to the end because they're a lot similar to werewolves.
I'm pretty sure you covered mostly on the foxes.
No. Biological standpoint, foxes in human form have a very cunning fox-like face. They are
Angular
in aspect. Though in most Japanese, I'm not trying to stereotype people. I'm literally not. Most Japanese or Asian faces in general have a slight angle to it, especially in females.
For Kitsune?
I'm talking about just normal bone structure.
Not necessarily.
Like I said, I'm not trying to stereotype anybody. I'm talking about back in the day, where
back in the day was kind of round.
They still had oval-like faces.
Alright, yeah.
I'm sorry if I tried to stereotype. It's not my intention. I will apologize to that. And
we apologize for stereotyping anybody. We do not mean to offend.
Yeah. I'm just talking about from what I've seen in artist renditions of Japanese paintings from that time period.
They did Kitsune though back in that time period for pictures. It more of sharper angles.
Yeah.
Higher cheekbones, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But the Kitsune in human form, they can be very dissimilar to humans. They pretty much match in all aspects. We have cats and they're going in and out of the door. But when in human form, they can, depending on certain lights, can cast a fox shadow instead of a human representing shadow. It's especially easier to spot younger foxes because they would reflect more of a fox shadow than a human shadow. But their aura would be the thing that gave them away the most. Their aura themselves, young foxes have no clue how to control their aura and make it look like the form that they are in. So when they transform into humans, their aura would still look that of a fox. Highly spiritual people, like Shinto priestesses, priests, monks, things like that, would be able to sense these foxes easier because they are already they're already familiar with the supernatural. they already have the spiritual power within themselves to sense that these people are different.
That they're hiding something.
Yes. It's the same for the Kamiko and the Hulingjin, except when they're doing their tricks to turn human, they're not necessarily trying to hide perfectly, because the ones that they are going after
becomes prey.
Yeah, that they won't ever live to tell the tale if they're unlucky.
No point to no point to hide if you're gonna just kill them.
There are some legends that foxes would have to put leaves on their heads to transform into other things. Be it a pot, a statue, something that they can use to hide when they're in trouble. A tree, a rock, things like that. But when they get better and older, they don't need to use the leaf anymore, and they can just transform at will. Hence why they are able to fool humanity more easily at that point. Another thing about Kitsune is that they can... dang it, I had my thought and then I lost it. When they're in human form, I found it. That the physical embodiment of their power, their tail, pretty much, is what they would hide their power in, and they would try to keep that on them or in a special hidden place where they are the only ones that can get to it.
Or if they trust their lover or husband enough to
reveal their secret. Yeah, to reveal their secret and safeguard it. But at that point, the item itself would not hold all of their power. So they'd have to split it up into... They'd have to collect more items to hold their power, up to 9 of them, like their tails. Kitsune are easy to be discovered if you can frighten them. Because when they're scared, they have unless they're really old, like say 600 and onward. Oh heck, even after their first 200 years or so, they can hold off their fear from not necessarily being scared, but to hold the transformation even when scared without giving it away. That all like I said, that all comes better with age and their power. Dang it, hurry. So,
come here.
Like I said, that one is one of the easier ways to find Kitsune. Now on to their children, if they were to find a human mate. There's been legends that they have that their own children, after a certain point of believing that they're human their whole lives, finding out that they are foxes as well. There are also some legends where they stay human their entire lives and they never inherit the fox abilities. It's kind of
50-50 chance.
Yeah, kind of 50-50. But pretty much most of the things that you can find about Kitsune are find out that a Kitsune is among you, pretty much, is what I've told you. Now on to Werefoxes. Now, werefoxes, unlike kind of like werewolves, have the same, as far as I know, the same shifting ability. They can actually do a physical shift in human form, where a kitsune, for most part, only shows their fox form in aura form, unless they were to make a full shift into fox form. But other than that, werefoxes and kitsune and werewolves are completely different creatures at that point. The werefox itself will have shorter than a werewolf's claws, but almost just as sharp. Probably a distended brow like the werewolf, or at least what I think a werewolf would look like. Smaller fangs, more needle-like, to reflect that the fox's fangs are shorter and
Sharper.
Thinner, but that works too, than a wolf's. Heck, even the muzzle for a fox is thinner than a wolf's. The ears would become pointed, just like what I think a werewolf would be. I don't know about possible facial hair popping out. Like I said, different creatures. Foxes are faster than wolves, due to foxes also not just being a predator, but also prey. They have the prey instinct as well for fight or flight. So they are literally faster than their wolf counterparts.
That, and they also hunt out alone.
Well, no, they don't. They'll hunt in family groups too. A mate and cubs, or in fox cases, kits. They don't have the same hierarchy as wolves. They have, unlike wolves being alpha, beta, omega, which I did not cover in my werewolf video, but their spark, their magic, their abilities to create illusion is slightly better than the physical strength of a werewolf, because they're more cunning than the werewolves, just because of their natural trickster abilities. Do I think that werefoxes and kitsune and hooligan and kamiko can full shift into foxes? Yeah, possibly. Just like a werewolf could possibly full shift into a wolf. Would it be the size of a normal fox? Probably not. Again, the human body can only compress so much.
Yeah.
That most likely.
I think we covered that in our.
Actually, I did. They actually did cover that. But they'd probably be bigger than the normal fox. Werefox and probably kitsune and in fox form would be easy to spot because they'd be bigger than the normal fox. Don't matter.
And probably show more of an intelligence.
They would definitely show more of intelligence in the eye. Yeah. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment down below. And thank you for watching. Bye.
Peace.
Oh, actually, there's one thing I forgot. Werefoxes, unlike werewolves, are not necessarily connected to the moon. They can feel the pull of the moon like any canid species, or any animal in general, but being forced to shift for it, probably not. I'm going to, later on in the series, I'm going to do a deal of supernatural poisons. I don't know when I'm going to do it yet. That's why I'm not Hence why I didn't mention Wolfsbane in my last video, if anyone was wondering. So eventually we will put down a supernatural poisons, blocks, things like that later on in this series. So, peace. Bye.
See ya.